When it comes to the solutions and action steps for Martin and Mrs. Arthurs, this is where we could probably get really creative with our solutions. This is why I love to be an educator and why I loved to work in public schools for a very long time, because the creativity and the substantive work to make sure that we're meeting not only the needs of the student, but we're working smarter, not harder, and we're working collaboratively together and in a team and not individually and feeling all the stress on ourselves. So we need to isolate and work to fix, not necessarily a medical model, but fix some of the issues that are popping up that are really especially frustrating for Mrs. Arthurs, but also ways in which that it's kind of disintegrating the foundation of what the plan intends for Martin's education. One of the first things that we need to do is really clarify who should be part of the team and at that collaborative table. The fact that Mrs. Arthurs has never met two of the specialists that are assigned or available to help Martin is a very basic issue, and something we kind of need to gather the forces and kind of put everybody together and have maybe a meeting just to introduce and to review what's going on in Martin's case. We can't forget the parents in this. We haven't heard a lot about the parents, but they are definitely part of our service providers. They're part of our collaborative team. So we need to kind of pull everybody together and clarify. There are lots of strategies, academic evidence-based strategies that we can put in place for Martin when it comes to the struggles he might be having with his speech that kind of bleed into the social skills, with his varied behaviors, as his general education teacher so appropriately puts it, with his academic struggles, with his writing, and with some of the other issues that they've identified. There are some pretty basic, simple, everyday strategies that we would use as educators. But I'd like at least one of your, if not more, of your solutions and action steps that you really focus on and think about for this case study to be how to make this a better team. What factors do we need to identify that are real barriers to making sure that everybody's working together to make sure that this plan that we've laid out is actually, one, happening, and two, happening in a creative and collaborative way so that we're all working together to solve some of the things that are popping up, and to also, let's be honest, relieve Mrs. Arthurs a bit. Some of it might be a system that you could do online in a Google Doc and provide more communication. Some of it might take that time factor, and it might take some collaborative planning time, some after school time, some IEP review meeting time to really sit down and hammer things out. So this is where we need to apply all of the tricks and tools that are available to us as educators, reach out to all of those related service providers, specialists, instructors, administrative team members if needed, and really come together and build the collaboration that's needed. Again, this might not be a procedural fix. It doesn't seem systemic. It doesn't seem like there are mistakes made or legal issues present. But what can we do to make sure that everybody works together?